Hi, my name is Ann Sermons Gillis, and I'm interviewing members of Unity of Charleston. Now, you know that person that you sit beside on Sunday morning and you don't know too much about them? Well, this is your opportunity to find out a little bit more about AIleen Ryan. She's a member of Unity. I want to welcome you, AIleen. Good morning.
Hi, Anne. Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Yay, yay. Well, want to start at the very beginning and find out, where did you start out? Where were you born?
I was born in Irvington, New Jersey.
In New Jersey. Oh my goodness. And
hmm
so now you live in the metropolitan Charleston area. Where specifically? What
Yes.
area do you live in?
I live in Goose Creek, and I came here about 2 years ago.
Two years.
Yep, 2 years new to the area.
And what brought you down here?
Um, Intuition, and my daughter was stationed here in the Navy at the nuclear power school, and I was looking for a new place to relocate, and I just not knowing anyone other than her. I did some research. I've been to South Carolina several times and was always fond of it. And I thought, well, it's as good a place as any. And yeah, I've made my home here and I'm really happy.
Well, that's great. Well, are you solo? Do you live by yourself, or do you live? Does your daughter live with you? Or you?
I'm single and my daughter was living with me. She just graduated from the program and she has a new duty station. She'll be going down south to Kings Bay, Georgia. So I'll be alone, but not really alone because I have my dog Gypsy. I have her two cats, Buster and Biscuit. So I'm not alone. Plus, I have a lot of friends now from Unity and just through work. So
So, how old is your child? If you don't mind, you don't have to say that if you don't want to.
oh, that's okay. She's 27
Wow,
and
27.
she had 27 and she's married. She just got married over the summer to another sailor in the nuclear program. So
Oh,
I have,
okay.
I have a son-in-law. That's kind of strange, but
That's
yes.
that's so neat. Well, I had no idea that you were that old. I mean, I thought you were in your 30s. So, what is your career? Are you working?
Yes, I work full time. I work for a CPA firm that's based in Austin, Texas. It's a completely remote firm, so they don't even have an office building. All of the employees are remote. I am the HR and operations manager, and it's a wonderful fit. I love working for them. They love me, and it's really like a dream job. It's wonderful.
Well,
So
that's
I'm
great.
pretty happy with that.
How long have you been there?
I just started last year, at the end of last year, and it's truly. Uh, I prayed about getting a position where I would feel competent and capable and respected, and it's fun. So it's all of that, and it's just really wonderful. And they're beautiful people. My bosses, I have two bosses, and they're just wonderful. They're hard charging and driven, but they're also just grounded and they have a beautiful faith. So it's really cool.
So, your intention really was to find your dream job, and you did it.
Yes, yes, yes. I set that intention.
Oh, that is wonderful. Well, could you tell us a little bit about your spiritual search? I hear you talking about intuition is what brought you here, and so just
Mhm.
tell us a little bit about your
Well,
search.
I was introduced to Unity through both my mother and my mother-in-law. My I was raised Catholic and left that practice, I don't know, in my mid 20s. And my mother continued to be a practicing Catholic. At one point, she was what's called a charismatic. So,
Mhm.
using the Holy Spirit, which now I would say, is intuition or channeling. Um, and she indulged in a lot of practices that now I think, oh, I wish I could and ask her about these things, because she would vaguely mention the upper room and certain things that now I think, like, she was really meditating and she was doing all of these things that that I do now, but I call them different things. Like, I am a Reiki master, and she did hands-on healing, and she would compose these beautiful spontaneous prayers that now I would say, like, oh, this is a divine connection, this is divine mind, and it's channeling. Um, that's not the way that she phrased it. It was always couched in this form of Catholicism. I understand, because it needed to be in that particular language so that it wasn't, I guess, threatening, or it stayed within the bounds of Catholicism. But I always knew there was something different and there was something more to her. And she got this little booklet called The Daily Word. And so I just would read the Daily Word, because I don't know, and I also read Reader's Digest and whatever other magazines came to the house. And when I got married, I was 23. Um, my ex-husband's mother, my mother-in-law, her mother was raised in the Unity faith, and she also got the Daily Word. So at their house, I would see, like, oh, and I would read it. And my mother also got guideposts and all kinds of things, inspirational literature. And I always just kept that with me. I started subscribing to Daily Word. Must be, I don't know, 20 something years that I've had a subscription. And I just have always carried that with me. At one point, I was an atheist. I felt hurt and abandoned by God. And I just figured there must not be a God. And it's for people who can't deal with life, and they just want an easy way out. They just want answers. And so it was like a bitter, resentful belief. And about 10 years ago, I literally had an awakening where I just realized, wow, not only is there a God, but I'm part of that picture. It's the two separate entities. And it was hard to reconcile because I've been atheist for such a long time, and reconcile within myself. And I started going to a Unity church in San Diego um, about 10 years ago. And then I went to Unity of Houston, where it was okay. It was so big that I felt somewhat lost. And I'm not kidding. The moment I walked into the sanctuary at Unity of Charleston, I exhaled, and I just knew I was at home. So this is a little bit longer probably than you expected, but that's my journey to Unity.
Well, that's a great story, Aileen. I think that many people do go through that time where they close the door to what they believed because it doesn't work. And then there's this void, when we shatter our
Mhm,
images of God,
mhm,
we do feel left alone and betrayed and don't know what's going on. So that seems to happen I've heard that from many people, that very same kind of journey, but it is very frightening in the not knowing
mhm.
before that awakening. So I'm glad that you were able to step over to the other side.
Mhm.
That's really great. So if you could just say in a few sentences or so, what is your philosophy of life?
My philosophy of life since I was a child, I didn't even know there was a name for it. Um, I fell into Stoicism about 15 years ago, and I realized there's a name for this. The particular philosophy is memento mori, which is remember I will die. And it's not to be confused with YOLO. You only live once, so have the dessert and spend the money. And and sort of have a hedonistic point of view, memento mori is remember, I will die. I will leave this meat sack that I'm in right now, but I'm not going to, it's not, I only live once. I will return again. But right now, before I die, what are the words that I'm saying? How am I finishing phone calls? I try to always say, I love you. How am I taking care of myself? How am I taking care of my home, my pets, my soul? What am I doing for myself? Because remember, I will die. And it's important that to me, that I leave a legacy of love and kindness and faith. So it's important then what I say and do and think.
That's powerful. Very powerful. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Do you have any books that have meant a lot to you or any particular authors that you followed that you might share with us?
Yes, and I actually brought one because I recommended this to Sarah. The first book is Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Um, I picked that up in high school, and I think I've read that 30 or 40 times.
Mm.
It's so powerful. It's underlined in dog-eared pages and flipped over. The next book is The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, and I'm so happy that Mike Dryden is doing the book club for that. I'm excited for that. I've read that maybe 5 times. And the other book that I wanted to recommend, this has meant so much to me, is a book by Emmett Fox. I've had this for so long. It's called The Golden Key for Today. And it's full of post-it notes and underlined and dog-eared pages. It's not a long book. It says The Golden Key, written by Emmett Fox in 1931. And I love this book. It's it's very special to me. So I would highly encourage people to read this book by Emmett Fox.
Did you have that book before you came to Unity, the Emmett Fox book?
Yes, I've had this. I think I've had this for 10 years.
Well, that's a great recommendation.
Mhm.
So, do you have any hobbies or passions?
Yes, I am a gym rat. I've been working out probably since I was 12 with my brothers in the basement. So I'm 52, so I've been working out a long time. I love it. It never gets old. I'm also a beekeeper. I just started last year and I love my honeybees. I love my girls. I'm ready for another season, another hive. So that's exciting. I love to read and cook and putter around the house with my house plants. I love African violets, so I have a ton of them. Very finicky, so I kind of like that.
Mhm.
And I love going to church. I have all my friends there. I love going to whatever events that are publicized from the candlelight music that I went to go see, and just the progressive dinner. I mean, everything that you guys put on, I try to.
We do have a special community. It's really hard to contain it in words.
Mhm.
So, how long have you been coming to Unity of Charleston?
I have been there about a year and a half now.
Okay. So you're here a little bit before you started coming to church.
Yeah, so I was here about 5 months or so, 6 months, and then I, settled in at Unity.
Great. Well, we're so glad to have you. I haven't been here that much that much longer. But the wonderful thing is that when you come into Unity after you've been there for a little while, you feel like you've been there forever.
Yes.
The friendships happen quickly if we allow them. We allow them. Well, do you participate in any spiritual practices?
Yes. Um, I have been meditating since I gave up smoking, which was 27, almost 28 years ago, because I
Oh,
stopped when I found out I was pregnant, which is February. So next month it'll be 28 years. And I heard about this thing called meditation, and it's like, okay, this might help me with quitting smoking, and it really did. But what I changed with my meditation, and now I call it my devotions, because I pray before I meditate. Edgar Casey said, when we pray, we speak to God, and when we meditate, God speaks to us. So I call it my devotions because it's not just these two separate things, they're sort of blended together. And I do that in my devotions every morning, um, anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes. Um, Sometimes in the evening, but usually not really. It's too tired. But every morning, and then Thursday evenings, I sit at 8 p.m. I'm studying Rosicrucianism, so I take that time to read whatever it is from the ancient Greeks or Hermes Trismegistus or just whatever I'm particularly focused on that evening. And I sit, I write in a journal, I meditate, and it's just a great it's food for my soul instead of just food for my brain. And it's because I love to learn, but this is a different type of learning.
so what did you say? At 8 p.m. you do what? You study what?
At 8 p.m. I study Rosicrucianism.
Oh, the Rosicrucian. Okay.
Right. So it's a belief system. It's not a religion, and it's just a way to meditate and think about life and work within the laws of nature.
Yes, I did that many, many years ago. I did 1 year of Rosicrucian
Mhm,
study.
mhm.
So yes, it's a powerful study. Well, this is great. It's so nice to know a little bit more about you. I mean, I've seen your body, but I haven't really seen your soul until now.
Oh,
But it's wonderful to see that. I wonder if you have any words of advice or any closing thoughts that you might give us.
something, two things. One is not so serious, and the other is the first one. The two things I always like to tell people. I've told my daughter since she was a toddler. A great day starts the night before. So whether you're planning your homework or packing your lunch or laying your clothes out or just doing the dishes, so that when you wake up in the morning, things are done and you're just kind of settled. But you want good things to happen, it starts the night before. And that could also include prayer the night before, because then it sets you up for the next morning. So that's not wisdom, but that's just something that I live by. The other the piece of wisdom that I got from my mother and I truly try to carry with me is always speak the truth with me. So I'm in HR, right? And sometimes I have to have difficult conversations, deliver hard news.
Mm.
And so I can't always be nice, but I can always be kind and I can always speak the truth.
Lovely. Well, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me, Anna. I appreciate it.
All right. Namaste.
Namaste.